Battery-powered devices are overheating more often on planes, and that is raising safety concerns because of the fire danger. The risk comes from lithium-ion batteries that power many portable electronics. Safety science group UL Standards says that overheating incidents rose 28% from 2019 to 2023. E-cigarettes and power banks overheated most often, and about a quarter of passengers surveyed say they put those devices in checked baggage. UL's director of Primary Insights joined us to explain the trend.
I think the important thing is, lithium-ion batteries can overheat um, in any environment, right? So I think our report really focuses on aviation because it's, a very kind of contained environment, right? And you're 30,000 feet in the air, so certainly the risk factors and how you mitigate that and how you deal with it and how people react to it, those change, right? So the batteries themselves, I think to be very clear and something that we really expound on our report, these batteries are by and large very safe, right? These events of thermal runaway, which is the overheating of batteries, is rare, but they are very high sort of impact when they do go into thermal runaway. So various reasons batteries can go into thermal runaway. The common one is, the device is either damaged, overcharged, or when it was manufactured, it wasn't manufactured properly, right? So there are various reasons that can go into it. So that's why we always recommend really looking for some best practices. One is looking for that certification mark on batteries or devices that you buy. If it has the UL stamp on it, then it's been certified to safety standards, and that means it's been tested through performance, it's been tested through various other environments where it could fail, and UL has really made sure that they don't do so. Other things that can happen, let's say, you have a power bank, which many people travel with when they're traveling, you drop it, right? It hits a hard floor and somehow the battery gets damaged in a way. And so you may not notice anything happen right away, but overusing it or charging it or using it to charge other devices kind of creates any kind of heat, right, in the device. So eventually that can lead into some kind of a smoking event or the battery itself bulges. So, various factors, but oftentimes it tends to be the device has been damaged or it's been overcharged or overused. So those are kind of the factors that really lead into a device going into an overheat or a smoke or a kind of an explosive environment like that. Nothing about the batteries or the products themselves have dramatically changed right over the past 5 years or that kind of period. What's really changed in the aviation space, I think, in the last couple of years is just increased volume of people traveling, right? So that's one factor. The second factor is really as we're all traveling, and I'm sure you do it, I do it too. When we're traveling, we carry lots of these devices with us, right? So we've got a smartphone, a potentially a laptop, a tablet, a wireless headphones, let's say power banks, and many, several other types of devices that are now powered with lithium-ion batteries. Even things like rechargeable, like toothbrushes, right? So a lot of people carry those and they check them in their bags. Many people use e-cigarettes to bring them on the plane themselves with that. And so it's really a, multiple sort of trends kind of converging. We're reliant on devices that are powered by lithium-ion batteries. Travel volume has certainly increased over the last few years, specifically after the post-pandemic period. So you kind of have multiple sort of trends converging, and that's really why we're seeing, increase in the sort of the incident trends that we picked up from our trip program. I think the key thing to really understand from our report is that kind of two things, right? So the passenger behavior that we've been picking up, it's really we've been running these surveys for over a year now, and so we've kind of constantly tracked them over time. So it's not just a kind of a snapshot in time; it's really a data that we've been collecting over the course of the past year, and it's really kind of clear, right, that passenger behavior shows that they simply don't know there's an issue, right? And if they knew, the full extent of the issue, they really understood the potential consequences. Many of the lithium-ion powered products that we see that are getting put into checked luggage, I think passengers would opt not to do it. So, it becomes kind of a, well, how do you solve a problem if you don't know there is one, right? So that's where the challenge really comes in. And, having not just kind of done this in vacuum where we're just looking at passenger behavior or just looking at incident data, we've actually gone on and talked to the industry, right? So talking to cabin crew, talking to people professional in the aviation industry, one thing that's really become clear to us is the messaging that we're giving to passengers. So from our perspective, consistency, context, and clarity towards passenger messaging are really critical across the board, right? So whether it's offering cabin crew consistent equipment to train on and having on board, as well as to giving passengers sort of clear and repeated messages throughout the entire travel experience, from the moment you check in for your flight on an app to the moment you're about to board on the plane, to how to really be responsible as they travel with their devices. So, like I said, some of the best practices that I recommended earlier, but these are some simple ways, that we think that incidences can be reduced kind of going forward.